What's up, everyone? This is Regulus 64. Today, we are talking about a not video game related topic. So, today's video is going to be about my hockey team. I probably won't be making too many videos about sports because I'm fairly new to sports anyways, and I only watch hockey. And this is going to be me talking about a little bit about the season as a whole. I kind of forget stuff that happened at the beginning, but it's my first hockey season I ever followed. I just recently got into the sport, so don't expect regular hockey videos. My content's going to be mostly gaming, but because the season's over, the Stanley Cup playoff finals is just around the corner. Unfortunately, my team didn't make it, if you can guess who my team is already. Alright, so I'll just talk about how the season went, how I felt about it as my first season of hockey that I actually followed, and I'm going to show off some cool hockey stuff that I have. I don't really see a time that I wouldn't make just a separate video of just, oh, here's all my hockey collectibles and stuff like that. So I think making like a kind of year roundup video about the Carolina Hurricanes would be best suited for it as well. The Carolina Hurricanes just a few days ago got eliminated from the playoffs by the Florida Panthers. It sucks that they got eliminated, but the Florida Panthers did look pretty good, so I gotta give them some credit. I wouldn't say I get super salty about hockey, like I could get frustrated in the moment, but when I see a team play good, I kind of give them props. So, Florida Panthers, they looked pretty good. So, unsurprising as the defending Cup champions that they would be the ones to eliminate my team. But I had some hope that we're gonna make it all the way. Not gonna lie, I thought we were gonna make it. So, let's rewind to the beginning of the season. Let's actually rewind to slightly before the preseason started. I started dabbling in hockey, talking with one of my best friends. He's really into hockey. And over time of just hearing him talk about it and going over and hearing about all like the drama that happened with my state's hockey team, the Arizona Coyotes, that we no longer have, slowly started getting me interested into hockey with all that crazy drama with that. Also hearing him talk about hockey, I was like, okay, let me see what this hockey thing's about. It sucks that we lost our hockey team here in Arizona, but let me see highlights and clips. Maybe it's something I can like, because I'd go to a restaurant now and then, and hockey would be on the TV, and I'd be watching it. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. You know, maybe that's something I can get into, because I've tried watching football, tried watching baseball, basketball, not really too into it. I watched some clips in one of the first highlight videos I saw, the last year season highlight for the Carolina Hurricanes. And after watching it, I was just like love at first sight for a hockey team almost. I don't know, it's super weird. From someone from all the way over here in Arizona, you know, I didn't lead towards a California team or Vegas, or heck, I didn't even be like, I guess I'll be a Utah Hockey Club fan. No, all the way on the other side, just YouTube happened to recommend me that video, I became a Carolina Hurricanes fan, just purely out of what YouTube recommended to me when I was looking up hockey highlights. Fell in love with the team, the players, the coaching staff, just absolutely just loved all of it. It got to the point where like I started super getting into hockey, and I've went all the way to Raleigh, and I've seen a game in person. So throughout this, I'm actually going to show some videos of, I went and saw Whalers Night for the Carolina Hurricanes. I actually went to Raleigh a couple months before that because I wanted to see the Hurricanes arena in person. So thankfully, I had the opportunity to fly down to Raleigh a few months before then to go to the Lenovo Center right before it changed over to that. So it was a PNC arena when I visited. I think I wore it in one of my videos of my Hurricane jersey. It's actually from the Lenovo Center. I went to the pro shop there, found the jersey, tried it on, and then took it back home here with me. That was a really cool experience. I'm just going to go over, like, I just talked about how I got into it when I first got my jersey. We're going to talk about the first few games I watched. So I started watching hockey. I really like the fast-paced movement, not too many stops, and occasionally when a game does have a lot of whistle blows where they keep icing the puck and whatnot, I do, funny enough, start getting a little distracted. I'll pull out my phone. But for the most part, how fast-paced moving the game is does keep me interested. I really kind of gravitated goaltending. I really like watching goalies, even the other team's goalies. If it's a really good goalie in net, I just really love watching them perform, dropping on their knees into the butterfly, stretching across the net, catching pucks with their glove. It's just awesome. I really liked Kochetkov. I would say that'd be my favorite player on the team. Next to, I mean, I like all the players on the team for the most part, but Kochetkov's up there. Why not Freddie Anderson? Well, he got injured fairly early into the season, and I just saw a lot of Kochetkov play. And I love how aggressive he is, the poke check he does. That's just, I love that. Every time he does it, I just get out of my seat. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Love the other players on my team too, like Sebastian Aho and Seth Jarvis are also some of my favorite players I love watching. So my first few games, I started getting hooked, loving it. You know, I went all the way down to Raleigh to get a jersey. Not just a jersey, just to travel and stuff like that, try new food and stuff. But in the midst of all that, I went to the Carolina Pro Shop and picked up a jersey. I started itching to want to see a game in person. So pretty soon after that, I planned a trip back down there for their Whalers Night. I thought that they pay homage, pay respects to their previous team. They used to be known as the Hartford Whalers. I wanted to go there for their Whalers Night. So I got this hat. I have a Whalers jersey, and that night was fun. That arena is absolutely electric, man. I get why they call it the loudest house in the NHL, man. It popped off so hard every time we scored. I was able to I went down there with my fiance. I convinced my brother and his girlfriend to go, and then my friend that got me into the sport went down there with us. So it was a giant group of us that went down and watched that hockey game, and it was an experience, that's for sure. What a year to get into the sport, man. Like, there was so much going around with my hockey team this year. It was crazy. The stuff with the Rantanen deal was insane. I really hated seeing Natius go to the Avalanche, but I was really hopeful for this Rantanen guy. I didn't know much about him. I remember when the trade happened and I texted my friend, I was like, who's this Rantanen dude? Because I'm new to the sport, so I don't know anything about it. Found out that he's a pretty dang good player. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out well for the Hurricanes. It seemed like he didn't want to stick around, and he wasn't really playing very well in our system, so I think it's a good thing that he left. But we were able to acquire a really good player from the Dallas Stars, Stankoven. Really fun guy to watch. Absolutely excited to see him as a Hurricane and what next season will bring. Another thing, I don't know if it's normal, but signing Nikishin, that big defenseman from Russia, that was really cool. I didn't even know, honestly, I'm going to be real, I didn't even know you could sign a guy, even though he was drafted by Carolina, I didn't know they could just pull him into the playoffs pretty much, and when they played him for the last few games, it seemed like he should have been playing from the very beginning of the playoffs. Unfortunately, we ended up getting eliminated from the playoffs due to a lot of reasons. I feel like our defense is really poor. I don't mean any disrespect to any players. I'm still new to the sport, but following from what other people are saying online, it seems like Brent Burns and Orlov is going to be possibly going out the door. I wasn't even though I absolutely respect Brent Burns' career and his Iron Man streak that he has, and I actually think the guy is hilarious and just genuinely he looks like a nice guy, it seems like his time could be done. You know, he's a little slower on the ice. Sometimes he's not where he should be, and sometimes the puck just flies past him, and you're like, dude, you're just standing there watching it. But you know, I mean, for hockey players' sake, he is on the older side, so maybe that has something to do with it. And then our second line center, Kokiami, seems like he's gonna be potentially going out. People are saying that we need a better replacement for him. He's not cutting it. And unfortunately, he was part of the reason that got the Florida Panthers going on that last game they got eliminated. You know, he got put in the penalty box, which they scored a goal on the power play, and they just kept going from there. So, I mean, I don't want to share too many opinions on how they should change the team and whatnot, just because I'm still so noobish with the sport. But overall, I have really enjoyed what I watched, what I've experienced. The fan base is really cool. Hockey Twitter is a little too much for me now and then. It's really hard to read it because some people have some really insane opinions or they're extremely negative. One of the coolest things I thought was my team got eliminated as the players were doing their handshakes like they always do. The crowd started cheering, "Let's go Canes." That is just a treat. I think that is the coolest fan base ever. It's not like the Maple Leafs who were burning their jerseys and throwing them on the ice and just quitting on their team. The Hurricanes fans, the Caniacs, were there cheering for their team even with elimination. We were able to break that streak though, that Eastern Conference Finals drought. It was like a 15-game losing streak in the Eastern Conference Finals. They won one. They broke the streak. That crazy stuff with Freddie Anderson getting injured and then having Spencer Martin from the AHL playing for him and then PK getting injured and then we had to rely on Spencer Martin. That was a scary time. I remember being like, what the heck is going on? Both my goalies are injured and now we have to rely on these other guys. I just remember that being the one period of time where I felt stressed out about my team. I'm like, oh my gosh, what are they going to do? Anyways, that's roughly when I talk about the season. I mean, I'm not a hockey season review guy, so don't think I'm going to get into it very much. Let me show some of my Hurricanes collectibles that I have and I've gained over time. I got Stormy here. This is a pillow. And it looks like a Squishmallow if you guys know what those are, but this is the mascot for the Carolina Hurricanes, Stormy here. My parents got me this for Christmas. I thought it was kind of cool. He sits on the couch or in my office. He just moves around the apartment. Another thing my parents got me, this really cool goaltending mask, mini goaltender Carolina Hurricane helmet. As I was saying, I really like goalies and I think they're really fun to watch, so they got me a little goalie mask. All right, something really cool my brother got me, something else goalie related. This is a Carolina Hurricanes hockey puck signed by Pyotr Kochetkov. Again, one of my favorite players. Super cool that I have this hockey puck. And also a funny story with this. My fiance did not know I was getting this for my brother, and she just happened to get me a very similar hockey puck. It's the same puck, not signed, but I thought it was funny. I have two of the same pucks, one signed by Kochetkov, one just plain. But I think they're both very cool. My Whalers hat that I picked up at the Carolina Pro Shop for Whalers night. I wore this, and I wore my Whalers jersey, which I'm not going to show in this video, but I do have a Whalers jersey. I don't know if there's glare. This is Seth Jarvis's first NHL goal, and it's signed by Seth Jarvis. My friend that got me into the sport gave me this for Christmas. I think it's one of the coolest things I have next to that signed puck by Kochetkov. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have too much to say. I didn't know exactly how this video was going to be, honestly. I just was going to sit in the front of the camera, talk about my first experiences with the hockey team, getting into the sport. Talk a little bit about the season. You know, I was trying to word it in like kind of order, but then I kind of went all over the place. But it doesn't matter. I just wanted to, ramble about something that I enjoy. I'm going to end this video here. I can't wait for the next season of hockey to come back around. I'm ready for hockey to start up again already and see my team do even better than they did last year. Hockey's such a great sport. I recommend people trying it out. Watch a bit of every position, see if you'll find something you'll like. It sucks that our season is over. Those boys played their best. But man, I am so thrilled that I got into this sport. See you guys all in the next one. Later.